What's going on, fam? Welcome back to the channel. I have a super awesome review for you guys today. It is the brand new X CrazyFast Plus in this special edition colorway that is an homage to the F50 Adizero Crazy Light, which I also might show you at some point in this video that I have the special edition Falcon of. But that's not what this video is about. These are the new speed boots from Adidas that are set to be launched, I believe, in the next couple weeks. This is, of course, a special edition colorway, so we'll go over all of the new tech specs, all of the new names for all the features that are in this boot, and we'll hop straight into the unboxing. It's a very, very cool limited collection box from Adidas. So all of these stripes are an homage to the F50 Adizero Crazy Light, which was a special edition colorway for that Crazy Light back in 2013 or 14, I believe. It was a very, very popular boot that included some yellow and black stripes across the entire upper. This one obviously being a little bit different with some of the ombre into orange and red here. So here you have made in part with recycled materials, limited collection on that one side, and then here's your X Crazy Light Plus FG. I don't know why it says Crazy Light. This might be, I think it's the Crazy Fast is the actual boot itself, but they're just this colorway is the Crazy Light quote unquote plus model. In FG, this is my usual size 9 US, a UK 8.5, and yeah. So, and then here's some of the other sizing as well. On the other side, you have limited collection, and then drawer style Adidas box, nothing on the bottom there. So really cool looking box. In my opinion, one of the best looking special collection boxes or limited collection boxes. A lot of the other Adidas limited collection boxes are just all white with the Adidas 3 stripes, and then you've got the made with recycled materials in the limited collections and stuff. It is a drawer style box per usual for this type of limited collection boot. So we'll get straight into it. Right on. Okay, so right away, little X CrazyFast. So again, this is the CrazyFast. They're calling this the X Crazy Light Plus just because of the colorway, but the rest of the models with all the other normal colorways that you guys will see in these boots moving forward will all be X CrazyFast. So immediately you get a bag with that X CrazyFast Adidas logo down here on this side, and little, must be, ooh, some laces or something. Okay. Oh, nice. Okay, so I think you get different color laces. These are just an extra set, which, by the way, okay, really quick. I haven't seen, well, I've seen online some of the colors of the laces, so they're quite bright. If you do want black laces, they've included a second pair, which in my opinion is freaking awesome. As I said in my ironically, in the Crazy Light review, and this might be why they've put the laces in, I said in that review, and it's not up yet, so this is just a little bit of a teaser, that those boots came with a second set of laces that are all pink, so that you can put sort of the accent color in there. And I thought, what a cool concept. Why doesn't Adidas just put the accent color of a second pair of laces in each one of their top end model boots? That way people can kind of customize them how they want. And these probably cost less than a cent to make, but at the end of the day, it's such a cool feature. It's easy. It just comes in this little, little thing. And that gives the user, the wearer, the ability to customize their shoe in just a tiny bit while, paying $300 for a resale price. Okay, so let's get the box out from there. And again, there's that bag. You've got a combination of this really bright orange and this really bright yellow or volt color here on that side. And let's jump into it. Okay. Oh my days. Wow. Oh yeah, here we go. These are super cool. I love the way, okay, first of all, the sole plate, let's just take a second to take a look at that sole plate. Absolutely beautiful. So it says Speed Frame. We'll get into what the actual name of this sole plate is in just a second, as well as compare it to a pair of Speed Portal Pluses that I've put laces in now that I have on my desk. But these are a gorgeous pair of football boots. I actually really rate this colorway. I think these are super cool looking. They're very out there. They're definitely bright. They're definitely kind of all over the place, but they are very, very cool. Almost like a chameleon, rainbow, trout, type vibe on the bottom. That is super, super cool. The other one, let's get this paper out of the way. There you go. The other one is just the exact mirror image. So they go like that together. So you've got the green on the outside that ombres into yellow and then into that red colorway. Of course, these laces are, oh, that's why. Okay, cool. So the laces are actually the same color, the ones they've given you in this little casing, except these are actually much thicker. These laces are super, super thin. And these, you can see the comparison between these two. Hopefully you can see that. The laces that are actually in the boots currently are about half the width or even a quarter of the width of the ones they give you here. So my guess is that either they expect durability issues with these laces, or they just give you the longer ones, or the thicker ones, just to give you a little bit of extra durability. But let's actually get this tag off. And perfect. So little tag that comes in there. These are just little RFID stuff for the laces itself. The outsole coating on the bottom of the shoe will potentially wear off during play, but will not affect the performance of this product. Thank you, Adidas. I'm glad you didn't put a sticker on there last time, because I've heard people who have those kind of, the chrome coating will come off. They actually take the sticker off and then some of the chrome coating comes off, which I think is ironic and hilarious. But okay, let's get into some of the tech specs of this absolutely beautiful football boot, in my opinion. I think the colorway of this is awesome. If you're not a fan of super bright boots, that's totally okay. I've seen several of the other colorways coming out of this football boot that are much more mundane and much more kind of classic Adidas speed boot. Let's get this little piece out as well. All right, so let's talk tech specs straight away. So as I said before, this is a special edition colorway for the X CrazyFast that they're calling this edition of the boot is called the Crazy Light Plus, as an homage to that Adidas F50 Adizero Crazy Light. You guys will see pictures up on screen of that exact boot. This boot is very, very lightweight in comparison to the Speed Portal, which this boot replaces, both the Plus and the 0.1 model. This boot drops about 30 grams, which is pretty insane. This is right around the 6 ounce mark. So in a size 9 US, I believe it runs right around the 171 gram range, which is very, very lightweight. You can tell straight away this upper is super, super soft. It's a lot, it's a little bit plasticky. So you've got a little bit of that crunchy sound. I'll do this up to the mic really quick. Right, so a little bit of plasticky sensation. However, it's much, much better than the plasticky sensation of the Speed Portal that this replaces, which is really cool. A couple other things that are really important to keep in mind. So this is their new Aeropacity Speed Skin Plus, which is a very long-winded name, but this is what this material is made out of. It's, again, it's paper thin. I am interested to see how durability goes with the 1 month review testing of this boot. Also the fact that this is the Plus model technically, and it has laces, which I'm very curious about. So maybe the 0.1 will be a little bit of a different model, who knows? We'll see when the actual kind of proper release comes out. So the other thing, so you've got this Aeropacity Speed Skin, which of course is this really, really thin single layer of mesh plus the single layer of the TPU film, which gives it this kind of matte finish to it and a little bit of a sort of a brushed texture feel to it. It's much thinner than that previous generation Speed Portal. So if I put this right here, I've actually got the Speed Portal Plus that I've put laces in. This is technically the laceless model, but you can tell it's very, very thicker, like much thicker plasticky type feeling knit-based mesh, whereas this one is like mega, mega, mega thin. So that's kind of the differences between, but from a structural standpoint, I mean, they're very, very similar, and we'll go over some of the features as well. So that's kind of the Aeropacity Speed Skin. And then on the inside, which I wanted to show you guys by kind of doing this, you can see that cage, which is the green suede material that goes along the inside, and that's called the Aero Cage Plus, which they've appropriately named to match the rest of the boot on the inside for structure and lateral lockdown and stability. So we've seen internal cages like this in a lot of different football boots over the years, starting honestly back with F50s in the 2010s, basically, with that white internal cage that was on the F50 Adizero from the World Cup generation of F50s in 2010. Similar to iterations that we've seen over the past 15 years. So it's been around for a long time. They just called it something a little bit different. It looks very similar to what we have on the Puma Ultra Ultimate, or excuse me, not the Ultra Ultimate. The Ultra 1.4 had some of an internal cage similar to this. The Vapor 15 Elite has something similar, this internal cage. It's very, very common to see those types of support cages on the inside of very thin upper football boots, so that you add a little bit of structure on the lateral side and the medial side. Of course, as you pull those laces tight, it really wraps your foot really nicely, and then you get it for some stability as well through that midfoot area, so that you're not sliding all over the place with how thin this upper is, which is really great. Now we move on to the outsole, which, as you can see from a comparison between these two boots, they are exactly the same. It even says Speed Frame on here, but the official marketing materials for the new football boot call this the Aero Plate outsole, which is, I'm sure we'll have Aero Plate here. If they continue to put Speed Frame logoing on there, I don't know why they would do that, because it is the exact same construction as the old sole plate from the Speed Portal Plus and 0.1, which obviously is called Speed Frame. I don't know why they named it any different. They could have just said it was the Speed Frame, just an updated version. You still have the stability wings here. You don't have any of the carbon anymore, as you got with this generation, this second generation, with this kind of honeycomb texturing. It's the same texturing that's on this. It's just a really firm plastic, and I think the snapback is really good. I haven't done a lot of training recently in the Speed Portal line, but I'm very excited to try these ones out, because this is the high-end, top-end model with a really thin upper that also includes the Speed Portal sole plate, which in my opinion I've really enjoyed on the 99-gram leather boot. So that's something that I guess to sort of retrace my words, I actually have quite a bit of experience with the sole plate, just the one that has carbon fiber in it. I really enjoy it. The shape of it's really nice, and it feels really natural underfoot, which is one of my favorite parts of this football boot. So overall, I think they've made, at least out of the box, they've made some really, really interesting changes to this. They've changed pretty much everything except for this, except for that Speed Frame, or Aero Plate that they're calling it. One thing that I think a lot of people complained about, and I'll show you guys on the overhead camera here, is the heel area of this Speed Portal was really, really thick. So if we take the laces out, there was so much, I mean, that's like almost half an inch to an inch of crazy big padding. I actually didn't mind it. I didn't find that my heel had any issues in this, but in comparison, you can see the difference in how chunky it is. And the new, this new boot here is so much thinner on the heel area, and they've reduced a lot of the padding and just kept it to a really thin, pillowy suede material here in the heel, which I think is actually going to create a lot of, number one, a nicer lockdown, but also a more comfortable lockdown. You still have the internal support cage as well as the stability wings. So from the standpoint of flexibility in this heel area, you do still get a decent amount, especially in that the middle of that area right there where your Achilles comes up. But I think the lack of really, really intensive padding, which is that difference between those two boots, is actually going to help a lot of people reduce any sort of blisters in this area. And so for a lot of people, I think it's going to be really fantastic. Remains to be seen. I haven't tried these on for obvious reasons. I just got a chance to unbox them and stuff. But I'm very hopeful that a heel area like this is going to be suitable for my foot shape first, but also I would assume in the on-feet portion of the video, I'll talk a little bit about when I do try them on, if I think they're going to be a little more suitable for most foot or heel types. I think that was one of the big complaints that a lot of people, other than the fact that they don't have carbon fiber anymore and all that other thing. Now we move into a little bit of a section where I want to talk about the way that these are marketed as a speed boot and where they stack up just from an out-of-the-box and tech spec feature list type vibe. I mentioned in the 1 month review of these football boots, the Speed Portal without the carbon, I mentioned that those, for me, were not a boot that I could recommend really anymore unless you absolutely had to have a laceless speed boot. I just couldn't recommend them anymore because of the fact that they had taken away the carbon fiber. The price stayed the same. Even though I think it's a comfortable football boot, it's a really cool execution, I just don't think it has the same pizzazz that the previous generation or the 99 gram leather has with the, I mean, that one is a completely different story, but the Carbitex insert in that stability frame, or excuse me, the speed frame sole plate, I really do think that created a sense of specialness to that football boot, which I don't think was present in this one. That being said, now that they have completely reconstructed the upper, the Plus model has laces on it. It's a very thin upper. You're looking at, I think, if not the lightest now, it's one of I think it's either one or two, number one or number two lightest football boots on the market. And for me, that's Adidas saying, you know what, we're going to step it up, even though we're not including carbon fiber in the bottom. That's okay, that's whatever. But we're going to make this upper really unique, and we're going to make it really thin, and we're going to make this boot more comfortable, hopefully. And I just think it's a much more special football boot and more of a special speed boot given the competition as it currently stands. Obviously, Vapor 15's a technological marvel with the Air Zoom. It's awesome, cool tech, great fitting football boot for a lot of people. Not really wide-footed players, but for a lot of people, it's great. Ultra Ultimate, I think, is just not that great. Furon is a fantastic, version 7 is a fantastic football boot in my opinion. Fits a lot of different people, which is awesome. And then you have this replacing the Speed Portal, and then you've got things like the Mizuno Alpha or the DS Lite X-Fly 5, which I think are spectacular as well. But if we're talking like top 3 to 4 big brands, this one is now, in my opinion, at least from a tech perspective and from a feel and how lightweight and how thin this upper is, really is something to keep in mind. So for me, this is going to be a really interesting try on. I'm very excited to get to the on-feet portion of this video. I know this unboxing portion has been really long already, so we're going to cut it off here, and let's just get straight into the unboxing, see how this fits and feels on feet, and I'll give some feedback on how I think this stacks up to the competition. Let's hop into it. All right, fam, out here at the beautiful Rochester Stadium with the new Adidas X CrazyFast Plus. I have actually swapped out those super crazy thin laces because I just don't think they're that nice to have on my feet, and I imagine they're gonna give me a lot of lace bite, so I didn't want to keep those in. Plus, they just look like they're gonna rip. And regular laces feel nice. So anyway, let's get straight into the on-feet portion. I'm very excited to see how these fit and feel. You guys know that the regular Speed Portal in the laced version, the Speed Portal 0.1, was probably one of my least favorite boots on the market outside of Puma Ultra Ultimate. That one just didn't feel very good, especially in reviewing that Trix colorway. It just was one of those boots I was not a fan of. So I'm hoping that this is a big improvement. I've heard good things about it, but it remains to be seen. Let's get into it. Okay, so here is those beautiful X CrazyFast Plus. I do think these look incredible, regardless of how they fit in the next section of the video. I know that these are definitely a good looking pair of football boots. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Excuse the F50 leather boots. I am filming a couple different things out here, and that's all I have. All right, not wearing any grip socks today, so we'll get into, here we go, 3, 2, 1, boom. Ooh, very nice. Okay, definitely less disgustingly tight as the previous generation Speed Portal 0.1. There's more flexibility, and it seems like it fits a little truer to size. So I know some people complained about the Speed Portal 0.1 fitting about a quarter size long. Some people had to go down half a size. For these ones, I would definitely recommend true to size. Right away, my toe fits right up to the end. There's a tiny bit of space on the end, which is perfect. That works just for me. So we'll get these all laced up quick and see how we go. But overall, the upper is definitely stiff, but in a way that moves with your foot. So it definitely seems to have quite a bit of lockdown here through that midfoot where that Aero Cage Plus is. And wow, those are really nice actually. I like the way those fit quite a lot. They seem to have decent amount of width to them as well. As you guys know, I am somebody that my midfoot here in
kind of the middle area of my foot up to where the start of my pinky toe is, like in that section, is quite wide. And even with that extra width in my foot, these seem to fit. There's a little bit of pinching on the sides, but not too much, which is a really nice, I don't want to say nice sensation, but it's definitely a good start to a review like this, especially for a new silo that comes out, because I want to make sure that these boots I'm able to do a 1 month review on, because this is going to be probably a very popular model amongst a lot of players. Definitely a lot of lockdown. This Aeropacity Speedskin Plus upper does a really nice job of wrapping your foot. Because of kind of the plastickiness, I guess, of this upper, there is a little bit of extra space here in this area, as well as a little bit of extra bubbling here on this area and through the lacing system, but it doesn't feel like that changes the sensation at all of the football boot. Like, it still feels really locked in, super lightweight on feet. And I don't imagine that it's gonna make that much of a difference as far as performance goes. In fact, I don't think it'll make any difference. When I flex my foot down, all of those bubbles go away. So I think it's just a matter of the boots breaking in a little bit, and I'm hoping that this boot will mold and stretch a little bit to my foot. I doubt it'll stretch that much because of the way the upper is constructed, but that remains to be seen. As far as the heel area goes, so the heel area seems really nice. It's got a really nice, secure fit and feel to it. And as I said before, I'm wearing Nike grip socks, which are not really grip socks. They've just got a little bit of extra something in these little ridges that you can see coming up on the back that really I wouldn't classify as grip at all. And my ankle is really nice and secure in the back of this boot with those nice soft suede pads that go on either side of the Achilles, which is absolutely fantastic. So very much of a better fit in the heel area to the Speed Portal 0.1 and Plus model. I think they've dumbed it down a little bit, or at least made it a little bit less bulky, which is really nice. And I think these are gonna fit most people pretty well if you are somebody who likes sort of a more synthetic speed boot feel. One of the things that I think is really important to understand, though, about this football boot is that it is very much a speed boot. This Aero plate, which actually is just a speed frame, the sole plate here on this boot is definitely something that keeps you up on your toes. So as you can see, the curvature of that speed boot kind of forces you to be on your toes, which is actually really nice, and I don't mind that at all. I really enjoy the speed frame that I have on my 99 leather football boots. Those have been an absolute blast to wear and really comfortable. So it's just a matter of whether you prefer a sole plate that's a little more curved in that forefoot area that kind of comes up, or you prefer something that's a little flatter like a GX or something like that. So there is the full look at the brand new CrazyFast Plus. I think these are a great looking pair of football boots, and they actually feel pretty good straight out of the box. I don't mind them at all. I think they are a much better speed boot in tech, in weight, in comfort than the previous generation. I don't know if they're gonna do a laceless model with these. I honestly hope they don't, because I just think laceless speed boots are cool, but unless you're gonna do something like the Speed Flow Plus, which in my opinion was far and away the best speed boot, laceless speed boot that's ever been produced, in my opinion, it's like they might as well just go with the lightest speed boot with laces they possibly can. So touch on the ball really quick. Very barefoot probably if I can actually juggle. We just finished training. Hello. Yeah, very barefoot, very nice on feet, super thin upper, and that contributes to a feeling of control and barefootness that I think will be very nice when in a game, in a training session, you're gonna really feel the ball on all types of surfaces of your foot. And I do think this is gonna be a really popular boot moving forward. The only thing, especially on AG pitches, that I do worry about is durability because of how thin this upper is, but this boot will definitely, you know, as you can see, I'm wearing them, no issues at all. There's a nice amount of structure without it being too grossly tight. As you guys know, on the Speed Portal 0.1 right here, I had to take the boots off like halfway through that review because they were so tight and just absolutely destroying my feet because of how grossly stiff the upper was. That's not the case with these boots. These boots are actually pretty comfortable. Yes, I'm getting a little tightness in and around that midfoot area, but so far, honestly, really nice fitting football boot. And I think these are gonna fit most foot types, especially because this speed frame, well, technically it's the Aero Plate Plus, but the speed frame sole plate is a decent size and should fit most foot types into the ground, which is really nice. So that's gonna be it for the video, guys. If you guys have any other questions about this football boot, you guys will see plenty of videos coming out about this football boot. We can talk about it in the next live stream, football boot live stream as well. Very excited to be able to test these. I'll be wearing them in training here for Flower City. So don't worry at all about any sort of testing issues. We'll be doing a 1-month review. These are plenty comfortable for me to justify wearing them in a training session and potentially in a game. So very, very comfortable, huge step up over the previous generation. And I am very, very happy with what Adidas has done here, going back to some of the DNA and the roots of what a proper Adidas speed boot feels and fits like. And that is awesome. So Adidas, well done. Keep up the good work. You're trending in the right direction. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and the the in-season programs, phases 1 through 4 are available on my website. Very, very important to get into the gym. Make sure you're conditioning your body for football. All footballer-specific trainings, phases 1 through 4, will be on my website, www.noahcavanaugh.com/shop, so you can go check that out. As always, be awesome, take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.